What's up, guys? Hopefully this video finds you guys well, safe and sound in all this fucking craziness that is our world right now. Today I want to talk about something that I think it needs to be talked about, and nobody's talking about it. So here I am again. This fucking thing is all crooked and shit. Yeah, that's it. It always looks like the fucking room is crooked, but actually the camera is crooked on the tripod. Yeah, nobody's gonna talk about this, and I don't know. I think it's because it's just a lot of people not identifying that this is happening to them. So what am I talking about here? So I've been looking online. Of course, I've been online through the whole pandemic, the lockdown, etc. And I started using Facebook a lot more than I normally do. And I post the same shit that I post on Facebook that I've been posting on YouTube and my other social media for the last 10 years. You know, the thing is, I wasn't really using Facebook as much. Because it's a different platform, you get different type of responses, and there's certain things that you can say on another platform. If you say it on Facebook, people lose their fucking shit. It's strange. It's weird because it's a lot of the same people, but there's different people on each thing. So the truth of the matter is that I'm watching people argue. I'm watching people fight. I'm watching people just lose their fucking minds, lose their shit every single day. And they all think each other. They all think the other person is stupid. They think the other person is not paying attention. They think the other person doesn't know what's really going on. They think the other person is a fucking idiot. It's always like this fight back and forth. And these people that they're arguing with could be family members, could close friends, etc. Like, things have changed drastically. And all of us, I don't care who the fuck you are. I don't care if you lashed out physically, mentally, physically or verbally, or if it's mentally that you're freaking the fuck out like the little hamster wheel is going crazy up there. Every single one of us are losing our fucking shit. Period. I don't care who you are. People will argue and fight now, and they wouldn't have done that shit years ago. They would not have done it. And why are they doing it? In order for you to argue and fight and go back and forth to your social media all day and look at people's pages and stuff, that gives you somewhat control over a situation which is your life that you have no fucking control over right now. As much as you'd like to think your ego is so fucking big that you control your own life and you're an adult and I take care of myself, you don't control your fucking life right now. And that is really hard for you to accept, and many of you don't even realize that. Now here's the deal. Until March, we were all under the impression that we were free. Like, we made our own choices. We decided what's best for us, life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. We decided that's what America's all about, right? Freedom. And then just like that, freedom was taken away under the guise of public safety. Fine. Okay, cool. I remember telling you guys, if you guys go back and watch the videos, as soon as they said we were going into lockdown, it was like the 13th of March or 15th of March or something like that. I made a video. It's still up. And I said it's going to go from 2 weeks to 4 weeks. And then I'm pretty sure it's going to go for another 4 weeks. They're going to break us in with this whole 2 week thing, which doesn't seem like a big deal, right? It's something that can change the fucking scope of the whole world if we just stay home and stay in lockdown for 2 weeks. And that's going to solve it. And I was like, no fucking way. It's just not. But the powers that be that control the situation, that control the TVs, that control the news, that control everything, had us understand that that's what we needed to do. 2 weeks came by. I said, oh, this is the end of it, huh? I knew it wasn't. And I said it. And I said, you know what's working really well? We're seeing it start to work, but numbers are still spiking. Well, how the fuck is it working if numbers are still spiking? Like, nobody caught on to that. Nobody paid attention to them saying it's working, but we need more time. If it was working, it wasn't that fucking big to begin with that first 2 weeks. So if it was working within that first 2 weeks, we should have flattened that curve almost right away. Instead, it was still doing this. It was still going up. So it wasn't working, although they told us it was working. And we looked at it and said, fuck, it's working. Okay, 4 more weeks. So we already did 2. I mean, it's basically twice as long. So we already did 2. We could do another 4. It's basically breaking it down into 2 more 2s. So then we have 6 weeks total. After 6 weeks, we'll be back to normal. Whew, we avoided the pandemic, the catastrophe, and we'll all go back to normal. And sure shit enough, after the 6 weeks, hey, it's working just like before. Hang on a second. So you're trying to tell me in a month and a half, this thing is still fucking going up, even though it's starting the curve. Motherfucker, it never went like this. It was always doing this, right? So we go through another 4 weeks. And then eventually we wind up at 12 weeks here in Virginia, and some states are still not open now. So that's March, April, May, June, July, August, September, and we're heading into October soon. So we're heading into 8 months where some states still aren't open. Think about all that for a second. Let that shit sink in for a second. Let that soak in. Now, all of us realized during this lockdown that we're not in control. We're not in control of our lives. We're not in control of our jobs. We're not in control of shit. They said stay the fuck home, and then they enforced it. Now, I do know that some people are like, what's the big fucking deal? Just stay home. And they like, people really got on board with that thing, which in the beginning made sense. 2 weeks, fuck it, whatever. You know what I mean? Like for 2 weeks, even I was on board with it. Then I started to realize the people that were saying that over the next 12 weeks were people that were okay with being controlled. There were people that have been controlled their whole lives that don't realize that they're under this fake false guise that they're in control of their own shit. And they're so used to being controlled that they're with them, they're backing these motherfuckers saying, yeah, let's do this. Everybody go bankrupt, everybody fucking lose your house, everybody lose all your money, and just fuck it, we'll just stay in the house because we need to for this virus. And that's when I really started to see, I'd say about halfway through lockdown, people fucking cracking. And now what happens is, I'd say after the first 2 weeks wasn't bad. After the first 6 weeks, it was starting to get bad. For the first 8 weeks, people were arguing online like fucking crazy. People that are related, people that are close friends, everybody's arguing, everybody's freaking the fuck out because that's the only place that you have a voice. It's not out there in the world anymore. It's on your own fucking social media. It's like sitting in your fucking house, yapping. Like that's your fucking safe place. You're on social media arguing with everybody because that's the only place that you can feel that you have some control. You can yell at that person. You can delete a person. You can delete their thing. You can block them. You have control over your social media, which is why it's so easy to lash out. Everything that's pent up inside of you from the lockdown, from the fear, from the uncertainty of what's going on in our world, you have no place to direct it. You can't direct it at home. You can't direct it in the real world because people fucking can't even talk. They have masks on. They gotta be 12 feet fucking apart. That's a whole other thing. 6 feet apart, the droplets actually go anywhere from 10 to 15 feet. Where did 6 feet? Anyways, doesn't matter. The bottom line is everything that's pent up in you that you don't even realize is going in, that's been programmed into you, that has been facilitated into your life to control you. And you realize that feeling of being controlled, and that makes you anxious. That makes you depressed. That makes you realize you're not in control. And who the fuck doesn't want to be in control of their own life? Like you can't fathom the fact that you're wearing a mask, not because it saves lives, because fucking you didn't do it for the fucking flu. We got flu season coming up now. You're not going to do it for that either. You're wearing that mask because you were told to wear it for coronavirus. You're closing your stores because you were told to close the stores so we can flatten the curve. Like you're doing everything you're told, hoping that you just get a bone at the end, that they throw you a bone. You're like a dog taking orders, being told what to do, being trained to obey. And then in the end, they throw you a bone, which is what? Having your life back, having your job, having your availability to go out and have dinner with your wife or husband or whatever. Like that's what you're hoping for. You're a dog jumping through hoops, doing tricks in a circus, hoping that they give you your life back. And some of you don't realize that, but you also understand deep down that you're not in control. And you'll never fucking admit it. Some of you realize you don't understand everything that's going on around you, but you realize that you're not in control of your own life. There are people right now, their kids went to school. The parents were not notified and they were fucking given the flu shots. They were vaccinated with flu shots without the parents' permission. You're not even in control of what the fucking your kid does at school. Think about that for a second. Kids came home and parents lost their shit. They were like, what do you mean you injected my fucking kid with some flu shot? How the fuck do we know what it is? What the fuck? They didn't ask shit. They lined the kids up and they just started fucking injecting them with a flu shot. You're not even in control of what the fuck goes on with your family or yourself right now. You can't control shit. They're in control. They meaning the fucking government. That's who's in control of your fucking life. These politicians, the government, they are in control of you. And you don't even realize that it is fucking pushing your anxiety through the fucking roof. And you got two ways to take it out. Lash out on somebody around you because you got to get that energy out. Or lash out on somebody online. There you go. That's why we're all acting like a bunch of fucking assholes right now. That's what's truly happening. Even though you can't see it, that's what's really happening. Now, how do I understand this? Because I lost my fucking shit at a Five Guys employee for barely any fucking reason at all, because it was towards the end of the pandemic and I was so depressed, I was so anxious that the slightest little made me lose my fucking shit. I'm standing outside of Five Guys arguing with these people. Now, get this. I was 100% right. I was 110% fucking right, and my wife knew it. That's why she just sat there and didn't say anything, and she let me fucking go off on these people. But the bottom line was, before the lockdown, I would have done that. I would have laughed and been like, fuck you guys, whatever. I would have left. I wouldn't have even said anything. They would have said whatever they had to say to me, and I'd be like, okay. And I would have got in the car and left and not even thought about them again, never went back to the place again. But here I was, anxious, depressed, couldn't figure out what was going on. The uncertainty is another thing that is fucking people up and causing these anxiety and depression. You don't know what the fuck. We're 8 months into this thing, right? All of 2020 has not been our lives. We don't know what the fuck is going on. We don't have anything that resembles our normal life back after almost 9 fucking months, because February is when this thing started. 9 fucking months, and we don't have anything that resembles our lives before. And you can't see by what's going on that causes your mental status to be completely fucked up. Like, your brain is not working right now. On top of all the crazy numbers from the fucking coronavirus, on top of all the crazy political shit, on top of Trump derangement syndrome, on top of fucking Joe Biden fucking not knowing his own name and shit. Like, there's so much going on keeping you distracted that you don't even understand that you've been controlled 100% this whole fucking time. You have done what you're told. They have manipulated you into thinking that, hey, this is for the greater good. This is for the better. This is that. And they stomped all over everything that we had in our lives. Everything. And it led to us fighting and arguing with each other. And that's what's happening right fucking now. Division. And that division is because you are not in control of your own life and you're taking it out on your loved ones. That's all it fucking is. And the sooner you realize that, the sooner this fucking government, the sooner they can't fuck with you. So we're going to talk right now about the game. We're going to talk about the Matrix. We're going to talk about how it's played. You ready? We're going to drop some bombs right now. And I want you guys to take this information. I want you to mull it over. I want you to talk to people about it and spread it, because this is the real deal. During this whole lockdown, the epiphanies like that, I realize not everyone understands that we're being controlled. Think about it like this also. The control is so ingrained into what we're doing. Think about this. There are people that I talk to every day. I have talked to so many people over the last 3 months. Everyone is on the same fucking page. Everyone is having the same fucking thoughts. Everybody wants the same things to happen. And none of them are speaking up. And I asked them, well, why don't you want to speak up? Like, what the fuck? Like, if you have something to say, why don't you say it, right? They come to me because they want me to say it. They tell me things because they want me to shoot my mouth off so that I take the heat. And I just don't give a fuck. You guys know I've been that my whole life. Give me the fucking hits. Bring them. I don't give a fuck. But the bottom line is, why the fuck won't they speak their mind if they have something to say, if they truly believe in their heart of hearts is important? And they say, oh, it's not worth the backlash. Worth what backlash? Well, as soon as I say something, this group over here is going to fucking jump on me. And then my words could be twisted into this. So I just don't fucking say anything because I don't feel like dealing with it, right? Think about what you just said. How do you know it's going to go that way? Because I see it going on out there. So you've been trained. You've been trained to act a certain way. By what? By what happens out there? Hang on. In order for a person to speak up, people have to listen, right? There are people that are willing to listen, but there are people that don't want anybody to listen. They want you to shut the fuck up. They want you to be complacent and just shut up and sit there and take whatever the fuck they're giving. And what they do is if you speak up and you say, hey, I like this, and these people come in and they start attacking you and shit, and they attack your fucking business and they cancel you and all this shit, you're like, holy fuck, like I should have just kept my mouth shut, right? So you see that happening, right? You see that happening online, you see that happening on the news, you see that happening everywhere. This is a warning to you. If you speak up, speak your mind, this will happen to you. And you go, fuck, okay, lesson learned. That's like a dog watching another dog be fucking beaten in the head over and fucking over again, right? And that dog says, I'm not gonna fucking bark because they're gonna beat the fuck out of me like that. You've been trained over and over again. You have been now compromised to the point where your psyche, all it sees is the path of least resistance. And you don't care what's right. You don't care what you think. You don't care about yourself. You don't care about, I shouldn't say yourself, but you don't care about your thoughts, feelings, your life. You don't care about what makes you up. You hide who you really are because you're scared about the backlash. That keeps you in check. That keeps you compliant, and that keeps you controlled. They are controlling you by doing the things that you see to get you to act a certain way because they do something, you react to it. I don't want to do that because they're going to react to me. Therefore, you just stay in line and stay controlled, do what the fuck you're told, and hope that this shit blows over and it doesn't reach you. That's what's going on. And if you can't fucking see that, hold on to your hats because it's coming. You will see it. There will be a time very soon where you will not be able to deny everything I'm saying now. You will be forced to face it. And then you'll be forced to look in the mirror and say, I allowed myself, my family to be controlled. I allowed our lives to be taken over by individuals. Why? I can't really be me. I can't really say the things I want. I need to conform and comply and be in line with like everybody else like a fucking drone and look the same and say the same things and fucking be on board. And I need to post the same things online, and anybody that posts against what they post, I need to fight them because I'm with them because I don't want to get my ass chewed out too. I'm like, you have sold your soul so that you don't get shit online? What? You will not stand up for yourself? You won't stand up for your family? You won't stand up for what's right and what's good because you're worried about the backlash. How controlling is that? I'm going to end this video here because there's a lot to think about. And I know some people that, I don't give a fuck. If this falls on deaf ears, fuck it. Because some of you right now, it's time to wake up and see how this game is played. We have been conditioned through decades with things I just told you about just now to comply, to stay in line, and to not buck the system. We have been conditioned, we have been trained, we've been taught. And now, we're supposed to just follow. We're supposed to just comply and sit there quiet until all this shit fucking plays out and they stay in control and they continue controlling us. The problem is they're losing control. They are losing control of the people that they seek to control, and that's causing the issue. And we're going to see an uprising. We're going to see it. It's not the one that they're fucking planning, but we're going to see it because the silent majority isn't going to be silent too much longer. The silent majority has had enough, and they're not sitting by anymore. They're realizing they're in this matrix. They have been controlled. They have been conditioned their whole fucking lives, and now they're realizing how much power they really have. Shit's about to change. What a time to be alive. 2020 is truly the Great Awakening. I truly believe that. And we're seeing things now. Hold on to your hats for the next couple of weeks, guys, because more of this stuff is going to come out. Just be aware of what I'm saying. Keep it in the back of your head if you don't believe it. And really start seeing. Don't look. See. Don't pay attention. Think. Don't gloss over it. Study it. If something doesn't fit, dig. And don't use Google. Use other search engines, but dig. There's a lot coming. God bless us all. I'm Biostream, and I approve this message. And we're out.